Kumusta mga kaibigan? We're back. Okay. What you're seeing right now is my son's collections of Nintendo, from Game Watch to Nintendo. What they call this? Okay, Jericho, can you explain it to me, please? And thank you.
The first one there is the Game & Watch. We couldn't find an actual version, so we ended up buying the remake of it, which is like a thinner, smaller version of the Game & Watch, and it has the original Super Mario Brothers and doesn't have any of the real games like Octopus or anything. The next one we have is the NES Classic Edition. Again, we don't
NES Classic. Okay.
we
NES
don't
Classic.
have the actual real thing, so we bought the remake, which is called the Classic Edition, which is a lot smaller, uses an HDMI cord, and has 30 games in it.
30 games, and this is included the games inside, right?
Yeah.
Not like before, because before our what they call this, our Nintendo NES, the games is separate, right? You need to put it inside, I think, right here on the top, but now games are included inside. It's in the memory card. And then next,
So the next one we got is the Nintendo Game Boy and Game Boy Color. We do actually have the actual versions of it. These guys were but the first mobile kind of console Nintendo created. The only drawback of these guys were that they actually use batteries, but that wasn't as much of a big deal now. But they also don't really have a backlight, meaning if you don't have a light shining on it, then it's basically impossible to play.
okay, yeah, this is why where I grew up, the Game Boy and these games, right? This Game and Watch, and then the Nintendo NES, and then the Game Boy. This is black and white, guys. 1980s. 1980s. I play this game. I play these gadgets, and there's no color inside. And the games, you need to put it right here, right? And then this is battery operated. And then what, Jericho, next? It came up, the Game Boy Color, right?
The Game Boy Color was basically the next version of the Game Boy, a little bit smaller than the actual Game Boy itself, with some different parts to it. It doesn't have contrast like the original Game Boy did compared to the Color and stuff. Still use batteries to make it work, and it's still required to have the have light shining on it. It didn't have a backlight, so.
Yeah, and it's it's smaller than the Game Boy originals. Look, and then they put a color on it. There's some color. I think you can buy it red, green, something like that. Gold, blue.
What, the Game Boy Color?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's kind of a color with this Game Boy Color. That's after Nintendo. This kind of Nintendo. Okay, and then it came up the Game Boy Color. And the next.
So the next one we have the SNES. I forgot to mention I don't have everything, and I try to put everything in the correct timeline of when it from oldest to newest. So if I do have anything wrong, please forgive me. But the next one we have is the SNES, or the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which again, I don't have the real version, which I plan to eventually get for the NES, then the SNES. This guy is basically the same thing as the NES. It doesn't have any of the games, or it doesn't require to put any games in because it already on the console, has HDMI and everything. And unlike the NES Classic, this one had 2 controllers instead of 1, and had just like the Classic Edition, it holds a lot of nostalgic games on the NES.
Okay, what is the difference with this NES, this one, and this one?
It's got the word Super in front of it.
This is a Super. Okay, this is a Super. That's only the difference. And then what we call this?
Well, it's not the only difference.
Yeah, and I think this one you need to put games on it, or no? It's included the games, right?
Like the Classic Edition, it doesn't require it. But the SNES was also an upgrade to the NES. The only ones I don't have at the current moment is the GameCube, the Nintendo 64, a DSi, and the Nintendo Wii.
Okay, that's the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, and same like the NES right here. There, but after that it came up the Game Boy and then the Game Boy Color. Okay, next, Jericho, we are now going to the Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy Advance SP. I don't have the Game Boy Advance, which wasn't a flip, but I do have the Game Boy Advance SP. The Game Boy Advance SP was had something very game-changing for the Game Boy. It had a backlight, which allowed you to play it in the dark.
But this is not battery operated anymore, right? This is corded now.
Yeah, it is corded now.
Advance.
Well, not corded, but when it ran out of battery, you didn't have to replace the batteries in it. It had a charger on it.
And then after that, it came up this one. What they
The
call
next
this?
one was the Nintendo DS, which is a little bit bigger than the SP. Holds 2 screens, and the other thing about it is that on the bottom you were actually able to add in Game Boy Advanced games
right here. Oh, okay, it mean to say what they call it, the games in the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or Color, you can put it right here, right, Jericho? You can play it here.
Yeah. So
how about the Game Boy Advance? No, you cannot put the games, the old games in the Game Boy.
Well, you can put the old Game Boy games onto the Game Boy Advance. It still held that power.
Oh, okay.
But on this guy, you couldn't put Game Boy games, I believe, but you could put Game Boy Advance games. One of the things that you're able to do is actually take Pokemon games, Game Boy Advance games, put it into the DS, then have either Diamond or Pearl into it as well, and transfer Pokemon from there onto Diamond and Pearl, which was very nice.
Can you take it out the games in here and then can you put it right here?
I can, but I don't think it's gonna work.
Oh, it's not working. Okay.
No,
but it fits right here, right?
Yeah, it can fit, but I believe it won't work. I don't know 100% sure, but the last time I checked.
Okay, and the next
one we have.
This is more bigger now.
The next one we have here is the Nintendo 3DS. The
3DS.
This one is also known as the Nintendo New 3DS, which, unlike the 3DS, actually had more processing power, which meant that you didn't have to wait as long for loading screens or anything. But this guy had something different compared to the other mobile consoles they had. It had an analog stick, which was very nice for games. It also had a 3D function, making the game be able to be seen in, of course, 3D and everything.
But the games here is smaller now, right?
Yeah.
Can you take it out? This one.
The chips.
Just the chips.
The chip is getting smaller and smaller,
right?
if you notice.
If you can what they call this, compare these games here and this one here, they are bigger, right? See, look
how big that is.
All right. Okay. Put it back.
We can just leave it there for now.
Okay, and then what is this? This is a Wii U?
Yeah. So the Nintendo
Wii
U, which Nintendo released, I believe,
okay,
if memory serves me right, I believe it didn't do as well as any of their other consoles. But I still wanted to keep it for collection purposes. The Wii.
Okay, this is the Wii U. He said it's Wii U.
The Wii U. Well, as you can see, that's what the biggest thing about it was, is that it had a
They're
small
big.
screen.
They're
and
huge.
Then it can be played on the TV screen.
And then this is what they call this. This is the monitors, or
that's the console itself.
The consoles. Okay, can you carry this one on the box? I'm just gonna show it to them. No, this one. Everything. Okay, Wii U, right? That's a Super Mario 3D World Deluxe set. It's Wii U. Right there, it's Nintendo by Nintendo. Are you still playing this? No.
No, it's just basically
it's just like your collections now. And then what is this?
And that's the latest one. It is the Nintendo Switch, which is their latest and greatest that they have. The Nintendo Switch. They wanted to be able to play console games, but on the go. So this guy, if you're playing, let's say, the game Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the Switch will only last for like 3 hours playing on it. But if we were comparing it to the Game Boy, this guy can last up to 7 hours playing.
This one, the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance can
Compared
last
to
up to
this.
3 hours.
And
Compared to
then
the Switch, that can last up to only like 3 because they focus so much on the gaming power.
okay, what's the use of this? You can take that out, right?
Yeah, you could take it out and use it individually.
Yeah, can you take it out, man, please?
Sure.
Because mostly all his games, all his what gadgets and everything is Nintendo. He likes playing Nintendo.
I would care about the. Actually, I would get the other consoles, but I really don't care about them.
Yeah. How about this one, the green ones? You can take it out
Yeah,
too,
the-
right?
that
And then what happened if you take this out?
No, you can just use it as a separate controller like that if you wanted to.
A separate controller. Okay.
Have to wait. Papa's busy.
There you go. And then let's see. And then you're missing how many more Nintendos?
The Nintendo 64, Nintendo GameCube, the DSi, and the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, you still have 4 missing then.
Yeah.
Because I do remember we have a what to call this? We have a
Here's how big the game is, by the way.
because we do remember, guys. We have a what is that?
It's the game.
This is the game now.
Yeah.
Look how small they are now. And this is from here.
Yeah. Also, if you,
This is from this game.
fun, fun fact about the newest chips for that. Well, Nintendo fans will already know, but they purposely made it taste bitter
Mm-hmm.
so that children won't purposely put it in their mouth and choke on it. So when they
Are
put
you
it in their
serious?
mouth, since it'll taste bad, they'll immediately spit it out, and it's non-toxic too.
Okay, you still need 4 more,
Yeah,
right?
more technically.
Yeah, because I do remember we have a Nintendo Wii before, but I think I sell it or I just give it away.
I believe it's 4 more. I don't know if anything else, but I would not mind getting actual, like, not the classic editions, but the actual real console of these, this one and this one, because it'll be
Alright.
nice to have for my collection.
Okay, guys, we've learned it from my son, the Nintendo, what they call this, Game & Watch from before until now, you know, the latest Nintendos. All right, see you in a bit. Babu.